Rocky Long getting ready to join us here on Scott BR in a matter of moments. San Diego State will play their spring football game this weekend, Saturday, the 18th. If you're a big San Diego State football fan, you want to see what's going on this spring, Coach Long will give us some information about that. But also coming up, San Diego State is taking the entire team down to the streets of Little Italy. They're going to visit schools and churches and play bocce ball.
Cool.
You know, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be a really cool thing. Let's find out why they're doing it, and let's find out what the game plan is. Here is head football coach of the San Diego State Aztecs, Rocky Long, on the Corky's Hotline, back on the Scott and BR Show. Hi, Coach.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing really good. Yourself?
Well, this time of year, I'm doing really good. I don't have to beat anybody.
So is spring football coming to a conclusion this Saturday with the game, or is there more after?
We actually have 2 more practices after the spring game, but we did it this way, so I guess there's a lot of things going on campus, so maybe we'll get a few more people out there to watch.
No, what's going on this weekend on campus? I have no idea. Do you?
I know all the people that have been admitted to school have been invited this weekend to come visit campus.
Ah, there we go. So let's cultivate some fans.
I hope we do.
All right. Coach, I read this article today, and I didn't know this, that Jim Harbaugh is taking his football team from Michigan, compliments of a booster, on a trip to Europe, on a trip to Italy. You know anything about this?
Well, I do because, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months ago, maybe not even that long ago, 2 months ago, I was on the ESPN website, and I saw the story about Michigan having spring practice in Italy. Mm-hmm. So obviously I investigated what was going on, and sure enough, he's taken his entire team, managers, trainers, I would guess families, and maybe ADs and dignitaries. They're going to Italy for, I think, 6 days. They're going to practice 3 times. The rest of the time they're going to be tourists, and I thought that was a heck of an idea. I'd like to believe that, you know, maybe everybody could do it, and then he's saying it's an educational experience, which I'm sure it is, but it's also a one-upmanship in recruiting. But obviously at San Diego State, we don't have that kind of money. We don't. If we did have that kind of money, I'm sure we'd use it different ways, maybe build a stadium or something.
Oh, hello.
but you know, I don't know what the right word is. I don't think that's fair that one Division I team can do something like that and the rest of us can't.
Well, here's the thing. Jim Harbaugh is an interesting character. He's give him credit for being a big thinker, but you're right. I mean, he took this team down to Florida last year to that IMG Academy, which I know pissed off a lot of guys in the SEC because he was sort of invading their territory. I don't have a terrible problem with that, but taking an entire team to Italy for spring football practices, when you go to recruit and you're from Georgia or Notre Dame or Miami or whatever, UCLA, USC, and Harbaugh walks through the door and goes, hey, when you come to us, we take trips to Italy,
right,
Mom and Dad. Your son's going to be cultured besides being a great football player. I don't even understand how this isn't some major NCAA violation, given that it's all being paid for by a donor. Explain this to me.
Well, obviously, I've checked, and by NCAA rules, if you've kept track over the years, basketball teams have traveled to Europe for a week or so and played in tournaments and all those kind of things. It's not illegal by NCAA rules at all. It's just the majority of us in Division I football, the majority of us could never afford to do that, unless we had one big-time booster or something that was going to pay for it. But
even schools that can afford it, Rocky. I mean, schools like Alabama and Florida State. I mean, schools in the SEC, they have the money. Just nobody does stuff like this.
Yeah, obviously the ones with the money could do it, and I have to give them credit for the idea. You know, a lot of people come up with real good ideas that no one ever hears about because financially they can't actually do them. I mean, we might even have come up with a few good ideas in our department at times, but because of financial reasons, no one ever finds out because we can't do it.
What about the academic side of it all?
Well, the way I understand his deal, they're either going during spring break or they're in quarters. They might even be finished with their spring quarter by that time, so they're not missing any school.
Gotcha.
What do you mean the academic side of school?
Well,
nobody
come
cares
on,
about
Scotty.
school.
What are you talking about?
Michigan, when you're playing for Jim Harbaugh, cares about school. Oh, they're going to miss a few classes. All right. So let me get this straight. So, Rocky, are you saying that you read about Jim Harbaugh taking his team to Italy, and then you came up with this idea of we can't afford to go to Italy, but let's go downtown to Little Italy?
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing it one time in our coaches' meetings, and we were discussing. We were probably feeling sorry for ourselves. Boy, we'd like to take our team to South Africa or something, and well, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. And I said, well, we can go to Italy. And they said, what are you talking about? And I said, we got Italy right here in San Diego. We'll go down to Little Italy and do the same stuff. And so that's what we're going to do.
So when is this happening?
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday of next week.
Mm-hmm.
Explain what is going on, because I think people are going to find this to be really, really cool. And by the way, Coach, let me tell you something. Jim Harbaugh can take his team to Italy, and it will help recruiting. I'm sure it will. But when you talk about recruiting, we need to recruit more fans of the San Diego State football program. Putting this team on the streets of San Diego, I think, can help build a fan base.
Absolutely.
So take us through what you're doing.
Well, I totally agree with your concept, and that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Well, instead of practicing, I mean, we get 15 spring practices. Instead of practicing, because we don't want any of our players to miss class, of course.
There you go, Coach.
Academics are so much more important at San Diego State than Michigan. It's not even close. I mean, come on. Michigan's a garbage school anyway. I only say that because my father-in-law went there, and he's like one of those obnoxious Michigan guys who's still wearing his Michigan cap. He's like 90.
Oh, no, he's not.
You know what I mean? Like one of those kinds of guys. You know, oh, Michigan's on. We got to all watch Michigan. It's like, no, we don't. No. Anyway, you were saying, Coach?
When we usually have our meetings, we're going to get on a bus. We're going to go down to Little Italy. We've made this suggestion with the people down there in the Little Italy Association, and they jumped aboard, and they really are friendly to us and really helped us organize this whole deal. So we're going to take a team picture under the sign that says, welcome to Little Italy. Mm-hmm. And then we're dividing our group up into 5 different groups. One of them's going to do the American football experience at Washington Elementary School. Group is going to go play with the senior bocce ball league down there. They're going to go play bocce ball. We're going to go to the Catholic Church, and the pastor there is going to give us a history lesson of Little Italy. And I hear he's bilingual, so he's going to do some of it in Italian
nice.
And all that stuff to see if our guys can pick up any of the words. We're going to go listen. One group's going to go to Plaza and listen to, I think, opera. Listen to Italian music, and I think it's opera. And one of them's going to go on what they offer down there, a tour of Little Italy with the history. And then after that, we're going to go to 4 different restaurants and eat a little Italian food and have the great experience that San Diego has to offer. And
I think this is great.
Back on the bus in time for night class.
I think this is great. So the 4 restaurants, they're going to Filippi's Pizza.
Yep.
They're going to Cafe Zucchero, Sorrento Ristorante.
Yep.
And I love Mona Lisa. And Mona Lisa, by the way, just walking in there, and those guys are all huge, great friends, and they've been with us for a long time. Yeah. I love walking into Mona Lisa. On the left side is the deli, and they make the best. I mean, such great Italian sandwiches. So I love Mona Lisa. I'm a big fan. Coach, this is a brilliant idea. I swear to you, this is so smart. Yeah. All right, let's plan phase 2. If phase 1 is Little Italy, what's the next time San Diego State puts the team out there? You got to do this during summer camp, Coach. Got to do it.
Well, I don't know about the next time, but in the article, Michigan is planning, after this year going to Italy, they're going to go to South Africa. And then after that, I think they're going to Japan. And the year after that, I think someone's going to stop this with the rule, by the way. But after that, they plan on going to Japan. And after that, they plan on going to either into Australia or New Zealand. So next year when they go to South Africa, we're going to the safari park.
Oh, this is so smart. This is so smart.
It's beautiful.
Do whatever Jim Harbaugh does locally.
Right.
Like let him travel internationally. Uh-huh. Let's do ours locally. So if Harbaugh's taking his team to South Africa, we'll go to the Wild Animal Park in Escondido. Great idea. We'll see lions and whatever else, giraffes and whatever else they got there. We'll do that. Okay, you said he's going down to after South Africa. You said, did I hear Australia?
No, Japan.
Japan. Okay, Japan. Let me think about this for a minute.
I've been beating my brain on the Japan one too, so you have to help out.
No, I'm going to get there. I got to just think about it here for a second because I don't know that San Diego has a little Japan, like they have a little Italy. But somebody call and give us or tweet some suggestions that if Harbaugh's taken the Michigan football team to Japan and Coach wants to do something Japanese themed
here in San Diego,
then what could he do?
Right.
What could he do?
Perfect.
All right, we'll get on that for you, Coach. And then you said Australia eventually?
Yeah, Australia. He hadn't really planned the fourth year. I guess it's Australia or New Zealand that year.
I really like this idea of, and I want to take this to another level, by the way. I love the idea of the whole team taking a picture by the Little Italy sign. I think it's a great idea. I want to take it to the next level, Coach. You want to hear what I want to do?
Okay, let me hear.
I want to shut down the entire block. Okay, we'll talk to Chief Zimmerman or Mayor Faulconer. I want to shut down the entire block, and here's what I want to do. No cars parked on the street of any kind. I want the first team offense against the first team defense, offense in black jerseys, defense in white jerseys, not in pads, sneakers, but I want to walk through. And then, the last play is somebody goes deep, scores a touchdown, spikes the ball at the end of the block. I mean, I just want play football on the streets of San Diego and have the sidewalks crowded with fans. I think it's a great idea. Get the band. I want the band. I want cheerleaders. I want the Homish Bucha.
Fantastic.
Well, it's funny you say that because what we had planned to do originally was go down and practice at the elementary school and then do all these things. So I went down there and checked it out. The elementary school does have a little bit of a maybe 50-yard grass field that's up next to a dog park that's up next to the bocce ball court, but the field wasn't quite big enough. So we actually thought about doing one in the street, but at the time, since I guess we have to do it during spring practice, but we wanted to do it during spring practice. Obviously, it took a little bit longer to get those kind of things done.
All right, well, this is a great idea. And in fact, now that I'm starting to really think about it, I want to take it to another level. I want, as we close the streets and we take the cars off the streets and we're going to have a kind of a football practice walkthrough on the streets, I want to line the streets, Coach. I want a big 50-yard line Aztec logo. I want to line the streets 100 yards.
Good idea.
I'm telling you, let's go crazy.
Well, if you can help us get all that done, we'll come down there and join in during fall camp.
All right, hold on. Coach, listen, I don't mean to do this to you, but we've got a caller calling in right now. County Supervisor Ron Roberts. Are you familiar with Ron's work?
I know Ron, yeah.
Let me put Ron on the air if you don't mind, Coach.
Not at all.
Hey, Ron, good afternoon.
Hi, guys. Hi, Rocky.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, so I heard your predicament, how you cover Japan. I've got a great suggestion for you.
Let's hear it.
Okay, in Balboa Park, we have the most beautiful Japanese friendship garden that you could ever ask for. And in the middle of it, we've got a beautiful pavilion, Japanese pavilion that was actually donated to the city by the head of the Kyocera company in Japan. And it would be a perfect place to go. We could, maybe provide a little more Japanese atmosphere with people suitably attired, as we do usually about once a year for big events there. And I think your guys would enjoy the whole experience.
Right. And Coach, and then what we do is we get like 5 really well-known sushi restaurants in town, and they come and they set up like a charity event, and their sushi chefs go out of their minds, and they make their own creatives, and the players eat like animals.
Yep.
All right? And I love this whole Japanese idea. This is a great idea, Ron.
There we go. We got 3 years planned out now, and with you on board, things will just get bigger and better.
Hey, I didn't want you guys to not have a good suggestion to work with. So we got to keep up with Michigan and Harbaugh.
Well, but isn't it a smart idea, Rocky? I got to give you a ton of credit. It's such a smart idea. If you say, okay, Harbaugh's going to do all these things and he's going to spend all this money and he's going to travel internationally, we've got all that culture right here in San Diego. Let's take the team on the streets to the fans and really try and create a relationship between the team and the potential fan base. I think it's so smart. Don't you agree, Ron? Don't you think it's great?
When I was listening to Little Italy, Little Italy's been a part of my life in all the years I've lived here. My mother's Italian, and I've been involved with that community for a long time. In fact, my wife and I, the little church you were referring to, Our Lady of the Rosary, we were married there about 52 years ago. So Yeah, the restaurants you've selected, great assortment. These guys with their big appetites will love them.
All right, Ron, we may need to enlist your help on some other things. All right, we'll be
No
in
doubt
touch.
about
Thank you,
it.
Ron.
Hey, Rocky, I'm always there for you guys. And you probably know I've been managing to sell about 1,000 tickets a year for you. Going to keep going.
I appreciate it, Ron. Thanks a lot.
Okay, good luck to you. And Scott and Billy will connect, and we'll help make this a great idea. Let's work on it.
It is
Way
a
to go,
brilliant
Ron.
idea.
Thanks, man.
Ron Roberts checking in as we're with Rocky Long here on Scott and BR. Now the next question is this. You made a comment earlier, Coach, about a stadium. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about that? Maybe when San Diego State football is homeless, maybe we'll just play on the streets of Little Italy.
Maybe we will, but I put that out there because in the Michigan case, there's one guy paying for that trip. So we got to find one of those guys that are willing to build us a stadium. There's got to be one around somewhere. We just got to find them.
How much you think? Just take a guess. How much do you think it costs for Michigan to take 100 players and assume they take everybody? 100 players. I'm rounding numbers. Figure at least 20 people in the equipment staff, 20 people in the training staff. Call it 40 to 60 people in the coaching staff if everybody's wives and family goes. I'm thinking about a traveling party of 200. I'm estimating about $10,000 per person. I'm saying $2 million for the donor to send the Michigan football team to Italy. What do you think, Coach?
That's kind of the way in our staff meeting we kind of figured it out the same way, that it'd be about $2 million.
We got anybody in town that wants to spend $2 million
Anybody.
to send? Where would you go, Coach? If you could
we would use it. We would use it some other way.
But if somebody said, I will do for you what this donor did for Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, where would you take your team?
I'd have to think about it a little bit, and I'd probably involve our seniors to see where they would like to go.
I got to think about this a little bit. I got to think about where you guys should go. Regardless, this is a great idea. Tuesday next week, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, San Diego State's football team hits the streets of Little Italy. Coach, what are you inviting fans to do? How would you like fans to become a part of this?
Well, if they have time, just come on down and bump into our guys, meet our guys. We have a bunch of really good guys on our team. They're friendly, even though some of them are big and mean-looking. They're friendly guys. I think our team always has a good time when they're together and doing things like this, and I think the fans, anybody that wants to come down, would just join right in with them and enjoy it too.
Even though Nico Saragusa has graduated, will he be there given this should be his part of town? I mean, he's from Chula Vista, but come on, hey, Nico Saragusa, it's right over here,
Well, he's in town because Pro Day is next week for last year's seniors. I don't know, he's got agents and things to do now that he's getting ready to be an NFL football player, so I don't know if he's going to be there or not, but all those guys are invited. In fact, they came back to town a few times when we invited them to recruit dinners.
San Diego State's Pro Day is when?
I think it's a week from tomorrow.
So next Thursday. Okay, great. Coach, good luck this weekend with the spring game. Is the public invited to this or not?
Yeah, everybody's invited. We're just doing it on our practice field, and we're not really, it's offense versus defense, the one offense against the one defense, and two offense against the two defense. And then, as we say, we put the one offense with the two defense and the one defense with the two offense, and we keep scoring. We're going to time it like a game. We won't have much of the kicking game in it, but we're going to time it like a game and play a whole game. And
why not have a kicking
Sorry,
game?
Scotty.
It's rude.
Well, we're going to kick field goals. I mean,
that's all I cared about.
Goals.
That's all I cared about anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not going to kick off or those things, but we're going to kick field goals because we know how important those guys are.
Right on.
Got that right, Coach.
Yep.
Well, Rock, it's great, man. It's an awesome thing you're doing. I think it's fantastic. Listen, when you're in the situation you're in, and you don't have Michigan's money or Michigan's list of wealthy boosters, you got to get creative, and I give you all the credit in the world. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Well, I appreciate it. Now we're just going to try to keep up with them, even though we don't have the money. That doesn't mean we can't get better and beat them.
Darn right. Boy, let's schedule a game with Michigan.
Got to.
I'd like another chance at him. We played him about 3 years ago when Coach Hoke was still there.
That's right. Well, it's great to talk to you, Rock, and we'll see you out there on Saturday for the spring game. Thank you.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Thank you.
Rocky Long, you got it. It's the man.
That's awesome.